there, you're listening to the Battlefield Community Podcast, brought to you by Don't Revive Me Bro.
What is going on, everyone? It's Colin, and this is episode 23 of Don't Revive Me Bro. Tonight is a special episode because we are live streaming. We have a few special guests with us. First, I have Mr. StoneFaceLock and JayeKaiser from the DCRU joining me tonight. And if you're watching the live stream right now, we have gameplay provided by DCRU with Thale. Also, on the line, we have a few pricks that are actually at PAX right now, and we are not, so... I think the last time we did one of these, it was from, E3? And I called you names there, too, out of jealousy. So, Chris, why don't you introduce the panel from PAX? And then we can hurl verbal jabs at them for being there. Let's go.
Hey. We're live from PAX in Seattle. It's day 2 of 3. With us, we have Jay Michaels from pixelenemyRevive.
What's going on, guys?
And Erik from Battlefieldo.
Yo.
It's a Battlefieldo.
It's a me.
And special guest StoneFaceLock. It's his birthday today, so everybody in the stream can.
Happy birthday, Mr. Stone.
Private show later, Colin.
You got it.
That got creepy.
It started creepy.
Somebody who needs to work on the videos, Mr. JayeKaiser is always welcome.
Hello. I love you.
Oh, good for me, man.
Yeah. So what we're going to talk about tonight is basically our impressions from what we saw at, from Battlefield 3 at PAX. Last night was the community event put on by EA and DICE. There was probably 50 people in the room playing. We played co-op PS3, and then we switched to 16 versus 16 TDM on...
And Rush.
And Rush, yeah. Both on... What's that?
Operation Metro,
yeah. So, basically, we've got an NDA talking about... We can't talk very specifics about the community event, but they showed both co-op and the TDM live to the public, so, at PAX.
So we can talk about that.
So we'll talk about that. And Daniel said, we're all good.
Yeah, we've got the green light.
The green light. So, for those of you who don't know, I guess the only person you guys may not know is Erik from Battlefieldo. He is the leading news poster of Battlefield 3 news. He breaks all the stories, so Battlefieldo.com is the place to be.
I break those rumors. And don't say anything.
I actually just got a message from Sword saying that he expects me to rage quit the podcast, break something, and then insist that you stop the stream, so...
Oh my god.
And then I'll figure out something to sell for $400. Let's go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so basically the new thing that was kind of shown, it was shown at Gamescom, I believe, was the PS3 co-op. It's shown on a map that... Do we know the name of that map?
Nighttime in Iraq. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's called Infiltration or something like that.
Yeah, it's basically your generic us versus them, tight corners, IED map. So we have 2 guys. You weren't able to change your loadout. And it's very linear and very... I don't know.
It was fun, though, because we got to replay it a few different times. So you do have the option to go through the mission all stealth, or go in guns blazing, or like we tried to knife everybody, and that was kind of fun. You don't get an achievement if you knife everybody, it's confirmed. Yeah, I don't know. It's like you said, it's very linear, so it's a little bit disappointing, especially for a Battlefield game. I was expecting maybe starting the map with a few different vehicle options and being able to kind of choose my route that I want to go, but it kind of does force you through the whole game.
Yeah, did you guys notice how there's that part of the level where you're escorting these Humvees down the street, and it's like you had to spot the guys on the rooftop, and then the actual gunners on the Humvee would, after you spot them, they would know where they are. So it's
is that what they're doing?
Yeah, so it's the spotting system actually works for the AI. It seems like
because those AI were shooting at the ground for half the time.
Yeah, they're pretty useless.
Yeah, it's gonna be people aren't going to spend much time on co-op, but you can unlock weapons towards multiplayer, which is cool. So I guess those people who get really frustrated with multiplayer can still level up the weapon system at least to kind of stay on the same level as everybody else. So that's a neat way to kind of keep it balanced.
And it definitely, like, it looked a lot better than what we've seen, too. From
on PS3, we've got shadows, there's...
a lot more dynamic lighting.
Dynamic lighting for sure.
I mean, there was like Jimmy Fallon's show, a demo of the Fault Lines thing, and that looked really crap compared to, I think, what the new co-op mode looked like.
Yeah, this is definitely a newer build. I saw the Jimmy Fallon build back in New York a few months ago, and I was like, wow, this doesn't look very good. I mean, they told me it was pre-alpha, so I gave them the benefit of the doubt, and then after seeing what we saw yesterday, it looks a lot better. So.
Yeah, I was really impressed by the sound too. Like,
the sound is.
Yeah, with the headset.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's like you felt like you were really a part of like the battle that was going on, like with the machine guns going off, and oh man, it's crazy.
The shotgun sounds really good, especially indoors. The shotgun is so good.
Yeah, they did have. Did they call that beta, or was that still alpha?
I don't know.
I don't know if they had anything that. Basically, you could go. You just lined up and anybody can play. You basically played until you die. I think there was a little bit of an issue. You couldn't finish the level. It seemed Jay and I, we had that issue, but...
And there was that whole revive thing going on too?
Yeah, so if one guy goes down, you revive him, and if you both go down, you lose. So, and it seemed like you had unlimited revives. I mean...
Yeah.
And it was like when you were... And then when you were shot, it was like you were on the ground impaled, but you could still use the pistol or something.
Yeah, it was like Last Stand.
Yeah, exactly, and still like move, but like
Last Stand. Oh, don't say that.
That's what it's like. Exactly what it's like.
What do you guys think of the thermal vision thing?
I think it's not even close to realistic. Basically, it's like a 4 times. You look down it lights up the enemies in orange, and then you just pick them off one by one. It had an interesting spotting system. If player 1 spots it, the people would have a 1 above them, and player 2 would have a 2. I guess that would count towards different points, maybe?
I don't know. I didn't notice any sort of counter, like point counter on the screen or anything like that, but maybe if they have some sort of arcade mode, a different mode for co-op, then maybe that comes into play for that. That would be kind of fun. I think that would add some replayability to the co-op.
So. And depending on how many maps they have, I don't know. I'll definitely play through it. Is that online co-op, or is it...
Yeah, it's online co-op.
Yeah, and I think on the PC version, it's like you will be able to launch it through Battlelog or something.
Okay.
There's like, I know in those Battlelog screenshots, there's like the co-op launch thing or something.
Yeah. But as far as the PS3 playing, I mean, man, if Cards listens to this, he's going to be happy. You can hip fire, you can bunny hop to some extent. Prone is a natural speed. It's not drop shotting. Yeah, I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, the only thing that I noticed that was different from Bad Company 2 is that they switched up some of the button layout. Yeah. So crouch wasn't on circle anymore. It was on R3.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think there was something else that was a little bit different.
I think the weapon switching was like a different thing.
Yeah. So there was a little bit of a difference, but one thing we don't know is if you can customize your
button
layout.
Yeah, and sensitivity. Sensitivity was good. Well, actually, it was kind of low. I would have liked to turn it up a bit.
I thought like it was, especially with the machine gun. Like, did you guys get the bipods working? I couldn't get them working on the PS3 version.
Yeah, I don't think I did.
Like I had the saw, and it seemed like it was really hard to hit people. It's like I was standing up and it was like aiming with the control stick. It was like
yeah.
But I mean, I think like you could switch fire modes though, so that was good.
Yeah, you can switch between full auto and single shot. You could. No, I lied. You could change your kit.
You could pick up other guns. You could pick up other guns.
Oh no, you're right. You couldn't.
Yeah,
there was a sniper rifle on the ground.
Too, yeah. And by the ammo dumps, they had a few weapons laying around there too.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do you guys have any questions about that at all?
Yeah, about the PS3 version.
I know we're all PC elitists now, but
yeah.
Well, exactly. I mean, PC for the win. But
I mean, I definitely think like playing the co-op mode, like I think there's been a lot of controversy over whether the consoles are going to get this dumbed down version of the game, but I mean, we haven't played Operation Metro on PS3, but the co-op definitely seemed a lot more solid than what has been shown before. So I think, even with the player count thing, I think like the consoles are still going to get like a solid version of the game.
Yeah, it seems to be like if multiplayer would be like that, besides some of the minor issues, it's very comparable. It's going to look pretty similar to Bad Company 2.
You want my opinion?
Yeah.
I don't think it looks as good, and that's just because of the art style.
Yeah.
I think that the Frostbite 1.5 engine, they found an art style that works really, really well for consoles, and because they're going for that authentic, real look with Battlefield 3 instead of that cartoony type of look, I think that going for that look and using such high-res textures and then dumbing that down kind of washes some things out and stuff like that. So it's not that the game looks bad, just in my opinion, I think that the Bad Company series kind of just that art style works better for what they're trying to achieve, and because then you play it on PC, and the PCs that we're playing on today at the
the team deathmatch.
Yeah,
it looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks really, really good. So
yeah.
I mean, if you've got $2,000 to build that PC, that would be excellent. They were running SLI 580s.
Yeah,
you say dual, right?
Two 580s.
Two 580s, and then the other ones were 6970s.
And it definitely was going like 60 to 70 FPS. Maybe like it was going really smooth.
But we checked out. We got to play around with the customization a lot at the public TDM, and there's if you hit escape while you're playing, you're able to change your field of view. You're able to change all your settings. You'll be able to change loadouts for every gun, every kit, and then you're able to change key bindings for infantry, vehicles, helicopters, and jets. And it has joystick built right in. Joystick support built right in. So that's pretty awesome.
I think it was like, it seemed like, in Bad Company 2, there's a lot of like config, people tweaking their own configs, but it looked like in the settings menu that they put so much work into like making it so people didn't have to tear apart the files. That it's like, changing the FOV and all those things that weren't in previous Battlefield games. So that's good to see.
Now you can set everything to ultra.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
The highest now. It's no high, it's just ultra.
Like in hardcore. You got the budget for those two 580s.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see how my current setup will run the game. And I mean, it's one of those things. Like, you probably don't have to go clear to Ultra to have a pretty beautiful game. Because I mean, I know the alpha looked friggin' amazing, and that I believe was only the graphics would have been limited on that, right? So
yeah, exactly. You could tell that in the version we were playing, the graphics were a lot better, I'd say, than the alpha. And I mean, we can say about the map. They improved the map a lot too. Operation Metro, like they changed quite a few things, and it's for the better. And there's a lot of interface tweaks and stuff like that.
Yeah, TDM was played. It would be the last set of MCOMs on Rush.
Yeah, exactly.
In that map. So basically, one spawn was on the road. That was like a lower road, and then the other spawn was in the metro. And spawns, man, I didn't have much problems with spawns at all, except for that little recon beacon.
Yeah, the radio beacon stuff.
So was it actually a function of you had two starting spawns and the dynamic spawns thereafter were pretty good, or?
Yeah, it actually was. It seemed it seemed to me like one person could go into the spawn and it'd be okay, and then you'd add another one and spawns would flip. And it wasn't flipped to one specific spot, it would be like across the map. That's the new spawn. So there was like almost 4 different.
Right. So like if you're playing Operation Metro and you're on defense and you're starting on like that street that's at the bottom, where the last MCOM was, instead of just spawning on one part of that street, it'd be like all the way across the street, so the entire street. So like if somebody was trying to spawn camp you, somebody else would just basically appear behind them because it's all the way across the street. So that was pretty good. One of the concerns that I brought up before was with the spawns and how they're going to treat these, because in games like in Call of Duty, you can basically manipulate the spawns by throwing like stun grenades and stuff like that, because the game recognizes that as like a person. Mm-hmm. So, you know, what people can do in a game like that is they can just basically keep spamming like grenades in certain areas that will force the other team to spawn in a specific spot. So until we really playtest this and see how that works, it could be a problem with spawning. But as of yesterday, we didn't notice anything like that. But why don't you talk about that spawn beacon that you brought up?
Yeah, so recons have, let's see, they have the UAV.
Mm-hmm. Micro UAV thing.
Yeah, micro UAV, the spawn beacon, and what's their third? Do they have a third?
I think they have that little radar thing that you put down that scans enemies. Did you use that thing? It's like it looks like a little tripod, but you put it down and it's kind of like the same thing as the spotting balls.
The motion balls.
Motion balls.
Disco balls, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like you put it down and then it like scans the radius, and anyone who comes close, it like spots them or whatever automatically.
And that, yeah, that's interesting. But the radio beacon was, I assume in regular modes your squad would be able to spawn on that. In Team Deathmatch, only you would be able to spawn on it. So basically, you put it down, you get killed, you can then choose to spawn in that location. It is destroyable by the enemy. When you get close to it as an enemy, it starts to beep, and you kind of figure it out. I got caught once. I heard the beeping, I went around the corner, and the guy that put it down, who I just killed, spawned instantly behind me. So that was a little annoying because I couldn't find it in time.
And it looks like a little walkie-talkie, so you can just like you can hide it in a box or something, or like in a little bush. You're good. But I guess I know a lot of people have talked about the EOD bots, and the cool thing is you can control the EOD bot and you place it down on the ground and switch in the camera mode. You can actually arm MCOMs with the bot and
repair
vehicles or torch people with kind of like the repair tool thing going on.
Yeah,
so it's really hard to control too.
It is really hard to control. Even the UAV is crazy. Like I couldn't even figure out how to make it go up. Apparently, space is up. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no weapon on it, but apparently, like Danny was saying, that at some point there'll be like weapon.
Yeah, it showed 0 ammo. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I think in the one trailer, the Caspian Border trailer, they showed like the micro UAV shooting something, like some sort of ammo down. So
yeah, some kind of like guided missile or something.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any questions about that? That's something I'm seeing tactical insertions and.
Yeah, exactly. That was my kind of take on it too, and that was another of the concerns that. Obviously in Call of Duty games, they have tactical insertion, people boost and all that kind of stuff by hiding in a corner and then teaming up with a buddy that's on the other team. That could be a problem, but one of the things we didn't test is how many times you can spawn on it, or something like that. So we'll have to check that out too.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one sweet thing is like the amount of weapons involved. Like, it's like you see the fact sheet, but then when you're actually in the menu. In the deployment screen, you can like choose the weapons. It's like amazing how many freaking weapons are in this game, and like it's like you customize one weapon, and then on some of the unlocks, it's like you can choose from like 3 to 4 scopes for it. It's like ridiculous.
Well, just getting back to the UAV for a second, a lot of people are saying, did they have that feed record in the bottom? And they did.
Yes.
Which basically means what we saw wasn't.
Yeah,
battle recorder.
Yeah, what everyone saw on the Caspian thing was definitely just the micro UAV, not battle recorder or anything.
So, what Stone? What are your concerns about that?
About the battle recorder,
or even all the recon stuff?
I don't know. For obviously, people who played the old school Battlefield, like 2142, they had the the deployable squad spawning, which is probably going to be a little bit different. 2042, you drop down like a fucking space shuttle, and you could see it from quite pretty far away. So it wasn't that big of a deal to find. Like you were talking about, you couldn't find it in time and to blow it up. But I don't know. It's going to be not really going to know until you know the full details and how it actually works.
Yeah, that's about it. I don't know. That tactical insertion, or whatever it's called, radio beacon concerns me. I mean, you can basically just put it in a corner and run out, die, spawn on that, run out, die. Like if you put it in a bush, does it ever go away, or does it just keep?
Yeah, or could you put it like near their like enemies like main spawn point or something? You know?
Yeah.
Just like spawn camp.
It's weird that they chose to do that because, you know, we know now that you can only spawn on the squad leader, and part of the reason why they chose to do that is because, you know, you can basically get one person behind enemy lines and then spawn your whole team there, and then 3 guys would move, 1 guy would stay, and they can just do that over and over again. So when they changed it up where you can only spawn on the squad leader, I thought that was a really good idea. And now with something like them implementing something like this, it's almost counterintuitive, but again, we'll have to kind of see, you know, how many times we can spawn on it, how many people can spawn on it, and all that kind of stuff. Because we really didn't get to test it out, especially in Rush. We didn't really test it out. I don't think at all. It was only in team deathmatch. So.
Well, I know, like Colin, Jay, and Stone, you guys played the alpha.
Yes.
Is that what it can be?
Maybe. Who knows?
So, what were kind of your concerns about the whole Rush mode?
Same as always. Same as Bad Company 2. You know, if you don't have a team playing aggressively, then it's pretty tough. And I think just like the current maps we have in Bad Company 2, there's probably going to be some pretty big choke points, or pretty small choke points, I should say. So it seems like just the nature of that game mode, the attackers tend to be at a disadvantage.
Yeah, you know, that's true. And I think that when it came to participants in the alpha, a lot of these were Battlefield veterans that were primarily Conquest players, so you didn't have people playing the game mode correctly on the attack. There were some other issues that, you know, for fear of breaking the NDA, I'm not going to really get into, that I think prevented us from really judging it, but, you know, map design is really, really critical in Rush, and choke points in Rush mode are not a good thing, especially when there's a very small number of choke points, and you're talking about PC servers, for example, which are 32-man games. So, you know, in a console game where you're 12v12, you might have the chance to push through a choke point, but when you have that extra squad tacked on PC, it just makes it almost unplayable in, you know, certain maps, certain scenarios. So, map design for Rush is my biggest concern, to see how that plays out in Battlefield 3. Because it could very well wind up being kind of like how Bad Company 2 is today. This is my personal opinion. Folks are obviously welcome to disagree, but when 2 good teams square off in Rush, even on console 24v24, the defense has the advantage. When 2 decent teams square off on PC 32v32, the attackers just aren't going to win.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, one big change that apparently I was the only one in our attacking squad that figured this out is they do have a smoke launcher now. It wasn't an under barrel; it was like a own separate thing. But
like a smoke grenade.
Yeah,
right?
like we're talking smoke. Like
And that was listed in
crazy
the
amount of smoke.
That was listed in the fact sheet as well, and
It makes it feel like Braveheart or something.
yeah, you can. It's tough to judge the whole situation, you know, when you're looking at something like an alpha where you don't have all the tools available to properly play the game. So obviously, alpha, you have a limited number of tools to work with. I don't think we had all the tools. Well, obviously, based on what you guys are saying right now, we did not have all the tools available, which was a fair assumption. You know, there was limited unlocks. So, you know, it's gonna have to see how it plays out. Hopefully, it'll be a more complete experience with, you know, more plentiful unlocks when it comes to beta time, so we can really kind of get into the nitty-gritty of map design and how it actually plays. Because, I mean, smoke grenades are critical. And, you know, if they're not there, then getting through smoke, choke points, smoke points.
And I think...
No, it's very hard. I'm getting some bad echo off of someone. I'm not sure exactly who that is, but...
Shame on you. Who's echoing? I will find you.
It's probably the guys at PAX, because they're probably...
That's bad. I'm a noob. I'm a noob. But yeah, the smoke is... Like, if you're going the second set of MCOMs, there's kind of the 3 main areas. There's like the middle, and then there's the 2 train tracks on either sides. One smoke grenade or one smoke launcher, whatever, canister will cover one of those sections. Like a lot. Like I think they'll probably turn down the smoke.
Yeah, it was almost too much.
Yeah.
Chris threw down a smoke grenade by one of the MCOMs while we were outside the first part of Operation Metro when we were in the park, and we were defending an MCOM, and he threw that down, and I was literally standing next to the MCOM, and then I couldn't see it anymore. It was like gone. So, but it was a great effect though. It's really, really cool. But if people start spamming those and everything else, it's just gonna turn into like everybody's just gonna equip smoke, and you're never gonna know what's going on.
Yeah. Or it becomes like a knife fight through the smoke.
Yeah.
I think, the one thing in the alpha with Operation Metro is that the squad spawning was broken, so it was like, it felt really hard too because you couldn't even spawn on people, so it's like, if you're attacking, that gave you a real disadvantage, but I think you'll be pleased to know, like I was saying, in the Metro version that we played on Rush, they changed the map quite a bit, so I can just say that you won't spend as much time in the park as you did in the alpha trial, so that was relieving.
And we didn't notice the lab, right?
Yeah, they had it out for this build. TDM was showing beta.
Right.
But Daniel said that was wrong. It was still alpha.
Yeah.
But yeah, the lab was gone for this, which I don't know why they did that, but
yeah, it's just interesting.
It was only 16v16 too, so I guess it's not 32.
It seemed like we advanced through it pretty quick.
16v16 is that's going to be the largest for Rush, right? It's not going to be 64-player Rush.
Exactly, that's the cap.
So, but yeah, team deathmatch. I was pretty impressed with. We were watching Daniel and Patrick Liu play against One Night Stand from Astro and another guy from Astro, and those guys have been playing it so often they know what to play and they know what to do, and they had RPG'd all the facade down of those big towers, and it really didn't seem there was much issue in finding people and everything like that. NVIDIA was putting on a big tournament, team deathmatch tournament, and the guy that won went 28-8 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. He was tearing shit up.
And that was maybe a 10-minute game. So,
and we were hanging out in that area, so they would keep on having packs of people come in and out to play these matches, and since we were there with Daniel and people, we just basically would sit down on the computers while people were, in between that and just play for 20 minutes to a half hour or something. So that was pretty nice.
Yeah, but Team Deathmatch, I mean, the map that it was on, or the area Metro that it was on, I kind of hope that in the final version that you can play on any part of Metro, or you can play on any part of any Rush map. I think it'd be cool just to let the community play on, any parts, any sections of the maps, and just let us decide which ones are the best ones, because I mean they're already made, so why not? I mean, I don't know if that's going to be a feature, but I think that could be pretty fun, and it would just add more replayability.
They actually talked about that. I think it was in an interview, and it might have been an E3 interview, saying that there will be multiple theaters for TDM out of every Rush map, for example, and I'm assuming the same for Conquest maps, right? So I think that's going to be a great feature if in fact that is the case, because I think that's going to keep it fresh. You have 9 maps, you have 3, 4, potentially 5 different TDM arenas available for all those maps. I mean, that's a lot of varied gameplay. I think that's a really great advancement if they do it.